If you're one of the countless millions of baby boomers who has no or low retirement savings, then tune into today's show because I'll be sharing 5 actions that you can take to begin to bolster your retirement savings. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Bybreen Samuels, and I help baby boomers reinvent themselves psychologically, practically, and technically so they can thrive in their third act of life. So, retirement is knocking very loudly on the doors of us baby boomers. We're anywhere from 59 through to about 73. So, for those of us who are at the lower end of baby boomer life, just stretching into our 60s, we know that retirement is very much a reality. And for some of us, as I said, millions of us may have literally no savings or low savings that wouldn't allow us to retire tomorrow. So we may have heard that there's this 10-time multiplier. And what this means is to calculate how much do we actually need to retire. There's a financial services company called Fidelity, and they're one of those that advocate that we should have 10 times our final salary. So let's say, for example, the final salary is £100,000, times 10 is £1,000,000. Also, there's another figure that really does float around the internet that we should have £1,000,000 in savings. That may actually bring on stress and anxiety if you have low or no retirement savings. So, what could you do? Well, the first action that you can take is to put together your own personalized retirement vision stroke plan. What could this mean? Let's say, for example, you're somebody who is reaching towards retirement and you're thinking, well, I'm going to retire in the country I currently reside in. You already have a sense of what your living expenses are. And as you move into retirement, those expenses can be adjusted up or down depending on your lifestyle. But you have a static sense of what's happening in your world. Then take somebody like me, for example, that is very much into a fusion life where work will form part of it, but it's very flexible. I can do it from my laptop and I really love travel. So I'm taking a far more integrated approach to my retirement years, and I'll be looking to relocate somewhere else. So therefore, the way that I'm going to calculate how much I actually need to retire is going to be very different from each and every one of you. So let's work with this figure that is bandied about, whether it's 10 times the multiplier of your final salary or whether it's the 1 million. If we work with 1 million, for example. So Fidelity and other financial service advisors, what they say is that we should be drawing about 4% of whatever that final salary figure is, whatever that makes up your pension. So if we work with the 1 million, 4% of that is £40,000. So you might be thinking, right, okay, I'm going to need to save £40,000 a year and, multiply that possibly by 20, 25, 30 years. And you're thinking, where am I going to start with that? I want you to pause for a moment because there's another factor you should take into account, and that's whether you have the state pension here in the UK or if you have social security payments. So here in the UK, the very basic state pension is anywhere between £8,000 to £10,000 a year. Now, if you've made your calculations based on the vision that you have for your future life in retirement, you may find that actually the calculation is maybe you need £25,000 a year. Now, what you need to do is take that £25,000, then you're going to minus the state pension or the social security payments. And then it could actually show you a figure of, let's say, £18,000. And you might think, well, actually, that's far more achievable and that's something that I could reach for. So I don't want you to become overwhelmed with the figures that are bandied about, i.e. £1,000,000, 700,000 pounds. What you need to do is really focus on your own personalized plan. There's a behavioral finance company called Syntonic. And what they did was actually looked at some of the character traits that will aid us as we're thinking far more optimistically about our retirement life. And so optimism is one of them. Also, having clarity about what the future looks like. And on the basis of that, then making decisions against that. And the other thing is about increasing our financial literacy. So the more of us that have higher financially literacy skills means the better decisions that we can make. So that's the first one, putting together your financial plan, your retirement plan, the vision that you have for your life. The second one is about lifestyle inflation. So you might be thinking, what do I actually mean by that? So you're working and you might receive bonuses, a commission, raise in pay. And what tends to happen is as our income increases, however that happens, we increase our lifestyle expenses. And hence we have lifestyle inflation. Now, if we continue to spend at this rate, we're not going to have enough money as we move into our retirement years. So the idea here is that any increase or any uplift that you receive, be it a bonus, commission, raise in salary, the idea here is to save it, obviously. And with those investments, there's going to be interest that's accrued on those investments. And so in your retirement years, you'll have a bigger fund to play with. So that's the second one, reducing lifestyle inflation. The third one is really about cutting out, eliminating completely high interest consumer credit, be that a loan or you've spent it on something, but you've had to take money to acquire the thing that you wanted. Now, with the high interest, what happens is, when we have debts, I've been in debt, and that was one of the things that I certainly took on as I was putting together my retirement plan, because debt holds us back. It kind of gnaws at us in terms of how we're going to pay for it, how much longer have we got. So instead of shrinking under the weight and the burden of the stress of your debts, the first thing to do is to really go and seek consumer advice. And here in the UK, we have something called Citizens Advice Bureau, but we also have a whole bevy of debt support agencies that really are fantastic in helping you think through your budget, think through what could be paid back to creditors, get in touch with them on your behalf if you're somebody who hasn't already done that. So with the financial plan, your retirement plan, you're looking at the lifestyle inflation and hoping to decrease that. And then thirdly, it's all about getting rid of this consumer debt, consumer credit that really, due to the high interest rates, is holding you back and is impeding on your ability to save for your retirement. Now, the fourth one is about automated savings. Automated savings happens a lot more frequently now with, the rise of technology and apps. But the whole idea essentially is that we build up this consistent muscle, this consistent practice of actually saving for our future. And what we're doing here is we're future proofing our life. What we're saying to ourselves is we are going to pay in advance for our future life. So automated savings essentially is a set amount of money that you decide that you want to pay, be it on a weekly, a monthly, quarterly basis, you decide. But it's money that once it's taken from your account, you forget about it. It's like set and forget, I suppose. This is going to help you balance yourself, because what we're trying to do is to lower our expenses as we're moving towards retirement. And so anything that we can do to save to build up our retirement fund is obviously going to put us in a great position. So automated savings, set that up, set and forget, and it just helps us exercise this saving muscle. And the more that we exercise the muscle is the more that we can be looking towards a more kind of secure financial future. And the fifth one is really about developing an emergency fund. So for those of us who may have no savings or low savings or wouldn't be able to retire tomorrow, The idea here is to build up our emergency fund as we are continuing to build our retirement fund. Now, why do we want the emergency fund? Well, emergencies happen at a time when we least expect it. It could be unemployment. I've been unemployed, so I know what that feeling is like. Or you could fall sick, be in hospital. I know what that feeling is like. Or, your roof could have caved in, or you need a new car. Doesn't matter what it is, but emergencies pop up, they crop up in our lives. Now, if you don't have an emergency fund, then the tendency is either to get out a high interest credit card so that you can pay it, or you're going to begin dipping into your retirement fund. And if you do either of those, what happens is that you continue to place yourself in a financially fragile position and situation. So the idea here is to build up this emergency fund as you are building up your retirement fund. So they are the 5 actions that you, as baby boomers or anybody else from other generations that's looking to put together their retirement portfolio, is to think about, cultivate, create your own retirement plan. What does that vision look like? The texture, the tone of it. Walk yourself through a day in your life as a retiree. What could that look like? And then put together a budget. Now, obviously, work with a financial advisor who can guide you in terms of the type of investments or the type of plan that you want. But each person is going to have a different vision for what it is that they want in their retirement life. Then look at where can you begin to trim back expenses, this lifestyle inflation. As your money goes up, do your expenses have to go up? Or can you begin to trim the fat now so that you're living below the money you're actually pulling in at the moment so that you can yield it on the back end when you retire? Then thirdly, getting rid of consumer debt, loans, high interest ones, get rid of them. Set up your automation plan and saving, and then you're putting together your emergency fund. So that's it. That's what I'm sharing with you today. Please, I'd love to hear what you have to say, where you are on your journey. Have you started to put your plan together? It was really exciting when I started to put mine together and I sort of have it crystallized in my head. And it's wonderful because the vision pulls you forward in terms of the direction that you're moving in. So please put your comments in the comment box below. And if there are any other subjects that you would love me to talk about here, let me know in the comment box. Let other people know about this channel and that I share insights and tips to upgrade the lives of baby boomers. And please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you again next Sunday here at 3:30. Bye.